Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Muhammad Omar Farouk for the invitation, and I'm sorry I cannot be in person. Today I'm going to speak about management of the EVAR deployment complications. So what are deployment complications? This could happen during main body deployment, or during contralateral limb deployment, or limb compression and occlusions, and access visual injury. Let's start first with the complication of the main body deployment. This could be too low, the device could be deployed too low, which is lead to insufficient fixation, especially if you end with less than 10 millimeters of the fixations, which may result in type 1A endoleak or graft migration. What is the cause of that? Usually, most of the time, it's operator error or poor device selection, the reason why precise planning is very crucial. And always try to position the upper margin of the main body just below the lowest renal artery. Try to maximize renal artery visualization with magnification, view, and correction for parallax. Avoid movement of the delivery catheters during deployment, and account for stent graft position change as it confirms to the tortuosity of the iliac artery. How we treat it? We just put an aortic extension or cuff. Like in this case, where the stent deployed too low, so we have more than 1.5 centimeters away from the artery, we went there and we just put a cuff. The second complication if you deploy the device too high, which occluded the renal artery, we have two bailout. The first one is to go through the brachial artery for injection to do an angiogram. Try to use a catheter across the fluid divider, go up and over and snare the wire from the other side. So you have a wire going through and through from right to the left femoral sheath through the fluid divider. And then slowly try to pull the device down. But here you have to be very, very careful because EVAR has a hook and you may end with the aortic rupture if you pull too strong. So you have to be pull very gentle and to move the graft only a couple of millimeters until you see the aortic of renal artery, and then you go there and put a stent. Otherwise, the device will move up. But again, you have to be very careful when you pull it down because of the hook, and you may end with the aortic ruptures. Like you can see here, the renal is being covered, so you get over and over the wire through and through from right to the left femoral artery, and you pull it down very slowly and gently until you see the artery, and then you go there and you put a stent. The other way, or bailout two, is to put two balloons in the iliac limb and try to pull the device slowly down until to see the iliac artery. And again, you have to be very careful with this maneuver. The third complication of to deploy the main body too long, where you cover the internal iliac artery, usually is well tolerable if the contralateral internal iliac artery is patent and without significant stenosis. But intervention required if the contralateral internal iliac artery is occluded. So try to upward displace the limb with a gentle balloon. So you put balloon in the iliac limb and try to push it up slowly until you see the aortic of the internal iliac artery, and then you go and put a stent in the internal iliac artery through the brachial or femoral axis. Or the other option to do open transposition or hypogastric artery or bypass through the flank incision. If patient has an ectatic iliac artery and you end with a type 1B endoleak because you went all the way to the external iliac artery, then you need to close the internal iliac artery by cold embolization or open ligation through retroperitoneal approach. The second set of deployment, it happened in the contralateral limb deployment and cannulations. Like the first complication is the gelled contralateral gate. What does that mean? If you deploy the contralateral gate within the ipsilateral common iliac artery, and this happens if the distance between the renal artery and the aortic bifurcation is very short, and then you do your measurement correct, so the contralateral limb, it may open in the ipsilateral common iliac artery. Also, it happens if you deployed it at the contralateral limb at the angle that makes it difficult to cannulate this limb. If it's recognized early, it's very easy. Try to reposition the graft and push it up to a higher location. But if you late recognition, then you need to open the contralateral gate with the contralateral aortic balloon and also attempt up and over cross with a curved catheter, then snare the wire and try to pull the wire to the contralateral limb and try to pull it to the contralateral iliac artery. Or if you cannot open it with all this maneuver, then just convert it to the aorto-uni-iliac configuration and do fem bypass. Like this patient, you can see the contralateral limb is being jailed in the epicenter iliac artery, went over, and then we were able to get the wire through it. We snared from the contralateral limb, and then we pull it to the contralateral limb, and we were able to finish the procedure. The other complication, if you are unable to cannulate contralateral limb, which sometimes could be very time-consuming, increased radiation exposure. Why it could be difficult, the contralateral limb cannulation? If you have a large aneurysm with a little thrombus, if you have a narrow residual lumen, if you have narrow aortic bifurcation or severe aorto-iliac angulation. I'll give you some tips and tricks to make cannulation easy. Like if you have a large patient like this one, where the aneurysm bulging in one side with no thrombus, then if you go and deploy this, your ipsilateral stent graft in the C shape, then your contralateral limb will be floating in the large aneurysm sac, will become very difficult to cannulate it. But in the same scenario, if you deploy the ipsilateral or main body in the S shape like that, then the contralateral limb will be trapped between the ipsilateral limb and the aorta, and the space will be very narrow and make it easy for you to cannulate contralateral limb. If you have an angulated neck like that and you deploy it in the C shape, again, the contralateral limb can go against the thrombus or against the wall. It will be very difficult to cannulate. But in the same scenario, if you go and deploy it from the left side in the S shape, then it becomes very easy to cannulate the contralateral limb. If you have a narrow aorta with a large thrombus, then if you deploy the ipsilateral limb completely, then the contralateral limb will be trapped and collapse. Will be very difficult to cannulate. So in this scenario, we just deployed the ipsilateral like halfway and leave a space for the contralateral limb to expand and then become very easy to cannulate. It's very important to have a variety of the catheters for to cannulate contralateral limb, or you can use a destino-steerable catheters. Give you an example, like if you have the same patient with a large aneurysm, if you deploy it in the S shape, then vertebral catheters will be very easy to cannulate, to use it. But if you deploy it in the C shape like that, and you have a large space in the aneurysm sac, then most of you need to use Jackson or Cobra catheters, or you can use other different type of the catheter to be able to, like Amplatz catheter, to able to cannulate the contralateral limb. If you have a tortuous iliac artery, it becomes very difficult to cannulate contralateral limb, so the best way to put a long sheath to straighten it up, then become very difficult, very easy to cannulate contralateral limb. It's some tricks also to use a long sheath, which will help you to change the tip of the catheter, and this way you can have the same catheter with multiple angulation. So, and this way you don't have to use multiple catheter to cannulate the contralateral limb. Have multiple C-arm view is very important. So you need to do patient an RAO, LAO, and then you go back LAO many times until you get the contralateral limb cannulated in the right direction. Conventional versus ballerina, how you decide that? During the procedure, you look at your wires. If the both wires are parallel like that, and you deploy it in the ballerina, then it becomes very difficult for you to cannulate. But if you deploy it in the standard, it becomes like very easy to cannulate, and you end with an excellent outcome. But if you wire like that cross each other like 90 degrees, like that, then if you deploy it in the standard way, it becomes very difficult to cannulate from the contralateral limb. So in this situation, it's better to deploy it in the ballerina shape, and then become very easy to cannulate contralateral limb and end with a good result. The last thing, if you try everything doesn't work, the best way just go from the brachial artery or go from the contralateral limb, go push your wire down, snare it and pull it down, and then you have wire through and through, and then you deploy your contralateral limb. What are some complications could happen during contralateral limb deployment? It's different. If you have a bimodular EVAR like Medtronic or Gore, they're supposed to go this way, but you can go the wrong way and the contralateral limb can end outside. This is very easy to be fixed. You just go back again through the contralateral limb and put a new limb. But when you have a trimodular EVAR, then you can go the right way, or you can go the wrong way, or the very long way if you go through the ipsilateral limb. This is what happened in 1 hour cases like this patient. So after we deploy the ipsilateral limb, we're supposed to go to our wire to go to contralateral limb, but instead of going there, it went to this direction, and we end both wire in the ipsilateral limb. Well, we did not recognize that until after deployment, and we end with the both limbs strap in the ipsilateral limb. And you can see it here, and you can see contralateral is completely open and both limbs stuck in the ipsilateral limb. So what do you do in this situation? You have multiple options. First one, to convert to the open repair if you don't have much endovascular skills. Another way is to convert it to aortoiliac and do fem-fem bypass. The other solution is to go from above, put a plug in the contralateral limb and do fem-fem bypass. The first solution to go from above and get the wire all the way down, snare it, and then pull it over and put contralateral limb and squeeze the other limb between both limbs. Or the fifth option, what we did, we went with the catheter between the graft and the common iliac artery. We pushed the wire all the way inside the sac. Then we went from contralateral limb. We pushed the wire down. Then we snare it. And then we have a wire through and through. Then we put contralateral limb. And then we squeeze the other limb between both limbs. And get an excellent result during the procedure with a good outcome. And this is a follow-up CAT scan. You can see good exclusion of the aneurysm with patent both limb and exclude the other limb. And this is a CAT scan here. And you can see here the third limb is being trapped between the two limbs we put inside. And this is follow-up CAT scan with a good result. The third complications happen because the limb compression and occlusions. Usually it happens if you have a narrow aorta less than 18 to 20 millimeters. We may lead to the limb conclusion. It's usually relatively contraindication for use of bifurcated device. But one of the solutions you can do napkin ring aorta by cracking the circumferential calcification aorta by doing 2 high pressure balloons. But you have to do that after you're putting an EVAR, not before, otherwise you end with aortic ruptures. And some people, they use bilateral stent reinforcement of the iliac limb. But if you want to be in the safe side, the best way is to use aortoiliac system and fem-fem bypass. Or you can use endologic or ingraft from cordis because they have a short limb and a small limb can fit in the narrow aortic bifurcations. The last complication is the access injury. You can end with iliac artery thrombosis, occlusion, dissection, perforation, but the worst thing is to end with a rupture, which we call iliac on a stick. The most important, don't get panic if you have rupture of iliac artery. Just maintain the wire access, inform the anesthesiologist about that. Get the balloon occluded from the contralateral limb, go and put occlusion balloon in the aorta, and then put a cover stent if you have a good landing zone proximal and distal. Even if you have to cover internal iliac artery, is not an issue. If you don't have cover stent or patient is unstable, the easiest way is just they make small flank incision and fix the iliac artery. Thank you very much for your attention.